You ever wonder why getting hired at a AAA game studio feels like you're trying to break into the Pentagon? It's not about your resume. It's not just about your portfolio. It's not even just who you know. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact hiring process at a AAA studio. From the very first headcount proposal, all the way to that final offer. I've been on the inside. I've made the hires. I've also screwed it up. If you're job hunting in games and you don't know this process, you're flying with no radar. So let's fix that. So let's start with something nobody talks about. Before your resume is even read, a hiring manager has to fight for the right to even open that role. In a gaming studio, headcount is political. Every department has to justify each full-time hire up and down the chain, often all the way to a VP or even the CEO. And it's not just, we need a designer. It's more like, this headcount must appear on this org chart, get approved by finance, and be swapped around like a Tetris piece to fit budget. Sometimes, managers play musical chairs with roles, shifting a spot from esports ops to marketing, just to get someone in. Because at the top level, a body is a body. A new FTE is a number on a spreadsheet. So the process isn't just about you being qualified. It's about whether a slot even exists and whether it's politically safe to fill it. Now, let's talk about the hiring manager. You think they're excited to bring someone on? They are. And they're also terrified. Because hiring the wrong person? That's worse than hiring no one. A bad hire takes 6 months to onboard, drains team morale, burns budget, and is a nightmare to replace. I've been there. It took me nearly a year to fully ramp up at one point. Firing someone? That's even harder, especially in studios that hate confrontation or where HR is overloaded. So what do hiring managers do? They stall, they wait, they hedge their bets. They create job descriptions that are bloated, vague, or way overscoped because they're trying to screen for safe candidates, not just skilled ones. Okay, say the JD's out. You've applied. What happens now? The recruiter posts the job internally and externally. Hundreds of resumes come in. They skim, score, and send a shortlist, maybe 12, 25 resumes, to the hiring manager. And here's the truth. They're not just looking for skill, they're asking, is this candidate worth the ramp-up time? Are they going to make my life easier? Will they accept the not-so-fun parts of this job? And if you make it past that, then comes the gauntlet. Because at a place like Riot Games or any big studio, the interview process is a full-day event. 7 interviews, 1 day, with craft leads, culture leads, hiring managers. You're being evaluated on everything. Communication, values, technical skill, leadership potential. Heck, even emotional intelligence. You survived all that. Now comes the final boss. The sponsor round. At this point, the hiring manager writes a full report. It's not just a summary, it's a justification. Why this candidate? What are their strengths? Where are the risks? What's the 30, 60, 90-day onboarding plan? And that justification goes to a sponsor, usually an executive or high-ranking leader. Their job? Maintain the hiring bar. Be the last gatekeeper. Because studios are paranoid about lowering their talent quality, and one wrong hire can ripple through the organization. If the sponsor says no, even after everyone else said yes, it's game over. So yeah, getting hired at a AAA game studio isn't just hard, it's opaque on purpose. But if you understand the process, you start to play the game differently. You don't just submit your resume and pray, you align to what they're really looking for. You reduce risk. You tell better stories. You show up like someone they can't afford to pass on. Want to see what that actually looks like in practice? Watch my video on how to position yourself as the safest, most valuable hire in the room.